Today we are going to see the remaining topics in the data dictionary. In the last class we were discussing about how to create structures, table types. Generally structures, table types, all these things will be created by using this option data type. There is something here called a type group. So today we will see what is a type group. Domain already we discussed. It is an independent way of creating a domain. So once you create a domain, you can make use of it later. Then we'll also see what is a search, help and log object. Now we'll go for a type group. Type group is nothing but different type declarations. So type group means what? It's a group of type statements or type declarations. Type declarations such as structures. If you remember, we are declaring structures with the types syntax. Similarly, table types also we are declaring with types keywords. And there is something called reference variables. Generally, how we will declare variables? If you want to declare a variable, you declare like this: data xyz type integer or character. Like this you will declare a variable. But there is something called a reference variable that will be declared something like this: types abc type I. So the same thing like yesterday what we discussed, xyz has a memory because it is declared with the data keyword. ABC does not have a memory because it is declared with the types keyword. You cannot store anything in ABC, you can store something in xyz. The same concept applies. Okay, so in this case xyz is called as a variable, ABC is called as a reference variable. So the reference variable cannot store anything. So your table types also has this kind of reference variables, all sort of syntaxes which are beginning with the types syntax, types keyword. So there are some SAP standard type groups. For example, there is something called SLIS. If I click on a display, you can see all type syntaxes will be available inside this. See, types, some ABC of length 1 type numeric, some XYZ of length 1 type character. Similarly, if you just scroll down, there is some syntax type some ABC or XYZ type I occurs 0. What is this occurs 0? In the last class we were discussing occurs 0 is a keyword which is used to allocate memory for the body of the internal table. Okay, so this could be a table type and this is a structure. You can see types begin of and end of syntax is there. This is a structure with the 3 fields and so on. All the type declarations are available inside the type group. Then the question is, okay, all type declarations are available in one place. What is the use of it? Later when we are doing complex programs such as ALV reports, these type groups we will use in our programs. So once we use this type group in our program, no need to declare this structure. You can directly use this structure in the program. So in the top of the program, you have to say, I am going to use this type group. So once you say I'm using this type group, all the declarations such as the reference variables, structures, table types, whatever are there, all are available for your program and you can make use of any such declarations. So that is the main use of type group. Remember, type group is always begins with a type pool statement. You can see a type group is always begins with a type pool, and name of the type group is list. So there is a list. It is something like studio.h or conio.h you will include in a C program as a header file. So the header file refers to the library functions. In the same way, in your program, you are going to include this type group. So once you include this type group, your program is going to refer all these declarations. Fine, so that is what about your type groups. There is nothing much to discuss about type groups because it's a combination of all type declarations. That's it. So then we'll go for something called search help. Search help is an interesting topic. Search help generally we will use to search unknown things with the help of known things. For example, I remember student ID. I want to search a student name. Otherwise, I remember employee salary or I remember employee address. I want to search employee name or employee ID. I remember some PO date. I want to search the purchase order. There will be several scenarios like this where we need some search help. Okay. These are used to find unknown things with the help of known things. There are two types of search helps. First is called elementary. Second one is called collective. So there are two types of search helps. So now first what I will do is I will try to create a elementary search help. I will say Z Narayan or something underscore help 1. Click on create. Choose a radio button elementary search help. Here you give some short description. I'll say help 1 to find student name, for example. So I know the student class, I remember the student class, but I want to find out the student name. This search help is basically to search the student name. Here you need to provide the selection method. Selection method is nothing but a table on which this student ID or student name, whatever is available. So tell me the table name in which we have this. Let me go to SE11 and see what is the table which we have created. So this is the table. So this table I will provide here. Press enter. Now here there is something called selection parameters. So now always choose the first parameter which you want to search. What I want to search? I want to find out the student name. So this is the one which I required as a result of this search help. Okay. So always choose that as a first field, which is the result of this search. That means student name we are going to search based on student class or student ID or employee ID, whatever it may be. So always give that as a first field. Second one, based on what you are searching, based on student class or based on student ID or whatever, or based on employee ID. You remember the employee ID, you want to give the employee ID, and based on the employee ID you want to search the student name. So provide all the fields Then put here importing exporting parameters. If you provide this importing exporting parameters, the values of the student name from this table will be imported and exported to your parameters which you declare in the programs. In the program, say for example, you declare a parameter, for that parameter the values will be exported. There is something here called a list position. LPOS stands for list position. SPOS stands for selection screen position. As of now, I will provide an order here 1, 2, 3. So I will come to this again so that you can understand in a better way. As of now, I just given some order. Student name should come first, class should come second, employee ID should come third. So that's what my intention. I will show you where exactly these fields are coming first, second and third. And if required, you can also change the order. Now I will say activate this search help. So now my search help is ready. What this search help can do? This search help can set the student name based on student ID or employee ID, I think, right? So whatever student class or employee ID. I think we have given student class and employee ID. Let us activate this. So once you activate, then the next question is how to make use of this search help. So we already created it, but how to make use of it? So what you can do is create a program. Go to SE38. In your program, create a parameter. So I'll create a small program. This is to understanding search helps. Make it as an executable program, save it in a local object, then we'll try to declare a parameter in this particular program. Till now what we are doing, we are declaring parameters like something parameters xyz type integer, xyz type character or numeric, like this we are declaring. But there is one more way of declaring a parameter. What you can do is you can give any name. For example, we are trying to search the student name, so you say some name. Instead of giving a length in brackets, what you can say is you can say type the data element of particular name which is in the table, because this data element is already available in the table. For example, I'll go to the student table. In this table, for student name, we have already created a data element. This data element has data type and length, character 30. It's already available inside this data element. So if I give here this data element, so instead of putting here character or integer, if I give here the data element, for this data element, what is the data type, what is the length, that will be allocated to this variable. Okay, so now I have given this. Let me save, check, activate. So once I have given this, then when I execute, I am getting a field, but there is no search help button here. But I want a search help button, and whatever we have created a search help, that should appear here when I click on the button. So if you want like that, remember the search help which we have created. So what is the search help we have created? Jednaren help 1. Remember the name. Come to your program and here add it saying match code object. This is a keyword, match code object. Your search help name. Search help name is Jednaren underscore help 1. So save, check, activate your program now. Now I'll execute. See, I'm getting a button here. Because of the match code object search help name, I'm getting a search help button. When I click F4 here, you can see I'm getting a student name, class and employee ID. So if I remember a first class, I can see, okay, so there are 3 people in the class 1 and I can choose any one of the student. Or for example, if I remember the employee ID, okay, then for employee 01, these are the 2 people, 2 students. I can choose any one of them. So this is how generally we can create a search help and we can make use in our programs. So hope this is clear. So now what I told you is I will come back to the order when I am saying here, when I am in this search help, I have given some L pause here, 1, 2, 3. This 1, 2, 3 is the order of the columns here. See, for example, student name is coming in the first column, class is coming as a second column, employee ID is coming as a third column. But if I change here, for example, I will say class should come as a third column, employee ID should come as a second column, and activate this search help. Come back to my program. Once it is activated, next time when I open this search help, employee ID comes in a second column. So this is the order of the list. This is whatever the screen you are looking, this is called a list. Order of the list. So this is what your L pause. There is something called restriction, like there is something called selection screen, a different way of selecting the data or searching the data. The other way is what you can do is here there is something called a dialog type. In this dialog type you provide, there is something called dialog with the value restriction. Select this drop down. There is something here called S pause. S pause stands for selection screen position. Provide here the numbers. The numbers may be the same like order. This is also selection screen order. So I will say this is this field should come as a second position. This field should come in a first position. This field should come in a third position. So like this you provide some order of the selection screen. Now activate this search help and we'll try to see how this search help is coming up. So now once it is activated, we'll go to the program. Previously see, this is how it is coming. Now see how it will come. For example, now when I click, a screen is coming, okay, in which you can choose. For example, you remember the student class, provide here the class and then continue. So then only the class 1 related students will appear. So there are 2 steps now. So when you click F4, you have a small selection screen. In the selection screen, you will provide the number of the class or student name if you remember, or employee ID, whatever you remember, you enter it. So for that particular employee ID, what are all the entries available? Those entries will be coming up from the table. So for this employee 01, there are 2 kids. You can choose any one of this. So this is one more way of handling selection screen. So now whatever the screen coming up here, this screen is called a selection screen. In this selection screen, in which order you want to display the fields? That is nothing but your S pause. If you want a student name, what you have given, student name should come in a second place. So that's why in the selection screen, if you look in, student name is coming in a second position, and employee ID should be in a third position. Student class should be in a first position. Student class, you can see it's in first position. So this is what called selection screen position. So generally this is how we can make use of elementary search helps. So any questions guys, you can ask me now in the elementary search help. So what is a collective search help now. Okay. Once we create elementary search help, then obviously we will curious to learn what is a collective search help. So I'll say collective search help is a combination of, it's a combination of different search helps. Combination of different search help means it may be a combination of 2 elementary search helps, or it may be a combination of 2 collective search help, or it may be a combination of elementary, collective search helps, and so on. It can have any combination. Say for example, I have created 5 elementary search helps for searching a student name. All the 5 I can combine, then I'll call it as a collective search help. Later this collective search help I can make use in another collective search help, and so on. Any sort of permutations and combinations you can make use inside the collective search help. But remember, when you are doing a collective search help, always your result field should be same. What I am saying is, you have created 5 search helps. One search help is searching the student name, another search help is searching the material number, another search help is searching the purchase order. Can you combine these 3? No, you cannot combine, because the goal of these 3 search helps are different. You can combine such a search helps which are searching only the same thing. For example, I created 5 different search helps to search student name. I can combine all these 5 and I can make a collective search help. You cannot combine different search helps which are created for different purposes. We'll see how to do this. For example, as of now we already created one help. Here what we have done is we are trying to search the student name based on student class and employee ID. And one more thing is, now we are going to create another elementary search help for searching the student name. So once it is done, we will be having 2 different elementary search helps for searching the student name, and then we'll try to combine these 2 to create a collective search help. So now I'll click on create. I'll create one more elementary search help. This is a help 2. Here we need to give the selection method. In the last classes, if you remember, I have told you that we can make use of help view in the search helps. Generally what we will give here in the selection method, we will give the table name. Okay, but you can also give the help views which you have created. For example, if you go to the view here, we have created this help view in our last class, which is having student ID, student name, employee ID, employee name, these fields. So you can make use of this help view in this selection method. Press enter. Now selection parameters. Always choose the first parameter as the one which you are searching for. Always I am choosing student name as the first field. Later, based on what I am searching the student name, based on employee ID, based on employee name. So based on employee name, I can search student name. So I will make importing exporting enabled. So I will make sure that the dialog type is with value restriction, so that selection screen will come. Here positions you provide 1 to 3, 1 to 3, whatever the order you like to have, provide the positions and activate. Save, check, activate your search help. Now I'll go to the program. In the program, I'll go to /NAC38. Here I will go in change mode and provide the search help 2 instead of help 1. Just now we created as help 2. Activate this. Execute. So now when I click F4, I am getting the second elementary search help, which has a student name, employee ID, employee name. Press enter. You will get the corresponding entries over here. This is fine. So now we have two elementary search helps. Now we would like to combine these two. How to combine these two? So we'll create a third search help. Click on create. I should select this radio button, then click on create. This is the collective search help where I would like to combine two elementary search helps. So give some short description, collective help or whatever you like. Then it is asking a search help parameter. Search help parameter is nothing but for what you are searching for. For what I am searching? I am searching for student name. So provide the student name here. Provide importing exporting parameters and data element for the student name. Go to the table and look into the data element. So you have some data element over here. Put over here data element. Go to the include search helps. There is a tab include search help. Go here. Provide the search helps. We have created two elementary search helps, right? So what is the name of that? Help 1 and help 2. Two elementary search helps. Okay. You have given here. One more small point is SAP as of now don't know. Maybe in the search help 1 you are searching for student name. In the search help 2 you are searching for maybe material number. As of now SAP don't know. But SAP want to make sure that in both the search helps you are searching for student name only. How it will make sure? By this parameter assignment. So after providing here search helps, what do you need to do? You put cursor on the first search help, click on the parameter assignment, and SAP will say, okay, are you going to search a student name? Yes, copy that. Yes, I am going to search the student name. What about search help 2? Again do the parameter assignment. Are you going to search the student name here itself? Here also, yes, copy it. So now you agreed that in these two search helps you are searching the student name. So then only you can combine and now activate. Save, check, activate your collective search help. So once you save, check, activate your collective search help, you can use this in your program. I'll put here 3. Activate. Now execute. Now click on F4. Helps coming up like this. See, this is the first help. This is the second help, which we have created. Two different search helps we have created. Now you want to search based on employee name. It's also available. You want to search based on student class or something. This search help is also available. Like this, you can combine several search helps. Okay. So that is what called collective search help. Standard SAP also uses this sort of collective search helps. For example, I'll go to /NMM01 transaction. There is a transaction where here you can see there is a help. If I click here, see there are different tabs here on the top. First, second, third, and so on. So all these SAP has created as a collective search help, and the collective search help, whatever SAP has created, that has been assigned to this particular parameter or that this particular field it is assigned. Okay. So this is what about your collective search help. So now we have seen what is the elementary search help, what is the collective search help. We also covered how to make use of a help use in your search helps. Now let us go and see what is a lock object. So what is a lock object and why we will use the lock object? Say for example, says this lock objects are used to maintain data integrity. So this will maintain data integrity. What is the data integrity? For example, I am editing a program. I am in the middle of editing some program. You have logged in from your system and you are also trying to edit the same program. The system will confuse whose changes should I save. For example, I am also editing the same program, you are also editing. I am also saving at the same time, you are also saving. Who changes the system should save? The system has a confusion. To avoid this kind of confusions, what system will do is, system will lock. That means, for example, if I try to edit the program, system will try to lock this program for others. So system will not allow others to edit the program. I can show you one scenario here. For example, I will go to SE38. I will open some program in the change mode. So I got the screen in editable mode. Here I can edit some, I can do some changes. Assume one more person has opened the same program. I will open one more session. Go to SE38 again. SE38. Open the same program again in a change mode. I will try to open the same program again in a change mode. See what system says. So now I am in display mode and system says the user so and so is currently editing this program. So you cannot edit this. The system will not allow. So system has locked this program for editing. So hope you got what is a lock now. There are three types of locks. One is called read lock, another one is called write lock, third one is called exclusive but not cumulative lock. There are three categories of locks. If I want to tell you something about a read lock, that means your reading is locked. That means you cannot read the program as well, or you cannot read the table as well. Write lock will lock writing. That means the thing whichever you can see, this is a write lock. You can read the program now. You can see the program, but you cannot write it. You cannot edit it. So that is called a write lock. Exclusive but not cumulative lock is used based on some conditions. When you are doing a locking inside the programming, you can make use of this exclusive but not cumulative based on some conditions. So how to create these lock objects? Let us see. When we go to S11, here we can create a lock object. But remember, here whatever the lock objects we are creating, those lock objects will be locking the tables. For example, you have created a student table. This student table, there are two data entry operators in a school. They are entering data into this student table. Assume both of them has given the same student ID and try to save it. Whose entry it should be saved? So there is a confusion again. So to avoid such kind of scenarios, when I have entered a student ID, that student ID will be locked for other person. So how to do such kind of things we will learn in this lock object. So whatever the lock object you are creating here, that is only for tables, not for transactions, not for SE38. So now here I will create a lock object. Your lock object name should always start with E. All others are starting with a Z. Okay, only this lock object is starting with the E followed by Z or Y. So after E, again you can give a name which is starting with a Z or Y. So I will give here Z Naren underscore lock. Click on create. So give some short description. Go to the table. Here you provide the table which you want to lock. So I want to create a lock object for student table, for example. Let me take the name of the student table. So this is the name. Take it. Provide it here. There is something called lock mode. So there is something called write lock, read lock, and exclusive but not cumulative lock. So all these other locks, I think there is some customization is done by some people who are practicing in this server. But these are the various different types of locks: write lock, read lock, exclusive but not cumulative. For example, you provide any of this write lock. When you go to the lock parameter, you can see the key fields of the table is already coming up. That means the lock is going to happen based on the key field. Okay, so that means the particular key field, particular student ID is going to lock for other users. So now I will save, check, activate. Save, check, activate. Save, check, activate, and then your lock object will be activated. So remember, when we are activating lock object, two function modules are getting generated. So two function modules, as of now you don't know what is a function module, but as of now you just assume function module is nothing but a block of code, a certain lines of code. A block of code is called as a function module. Because as of now you don't know what is a function module, assume it's nothing but a set of lines of code. So now what I'm saying, when you activate a lock object, you will get two function modules. First function module is always starts with something called enqueue followed by your lock object name. Your lock object name. Lock object name means we have given e-jednaren lock, I think. So after enqueue you will get e-jednaren lock. That is the lock object name. There is a second function module. The function module always starts with dq underscore your lock object name. So this is important with regards to your interview. So in interviews they will ask you, so have you ever created any lock object? If you say yes, then they will ask definitely, when you activate a lock object, what will happen? So when you activate lock object, in the background SAP will create two function modules. One is starting with the enqueue, another is starting with the dq. This enqueue function module will lock the table. If you want to lock the table, you have to use the enqueue function module. If you want to unlock, then you can use this dq function module. Okay. So now my lock object is activated. I want to see how the function modules are generated. Let us go to lock modules. There is an option here. Go to lock modules. So you can see dq underscore e-jednaren underscore lock. This is my lock object name. So one function module is generated with a dq, another is generated with enqueue. So the dq function module is to unlock, enqueue is to lock. So now when you are developing a program, what you will do is, when you are doing a program, what you will do is first call enqueue function module. That means first log the table. Second one is, so when you are developing a program with this lock object, what you need to do is first lock the table. Then what you need to do, you need to write the code for updating the student table. Updating the table is your second task. Your third task is unlock the table. For example, tomorrow you are writing a program for updating a table. What you need to do, first lock the table for others so that others cannot do the same entry. Then write a code to update the table. So we will see how to do this later, because as of now you don't know what is a function module and you don't know how to update the tables also. So we'll see this portion later, but this is a procedure generally we'll follow. If you want to lock the table, you have to use the enqueue function module. So there is a code to update the tables. There are some set of keywords, something like a insert, update, modify. There are some set of keywords to update the database table from the program. We are going to learn that soon. Then use the dequeue function module to unlock. If you forget unlocking, the others cannot make use of the table. So when you lock, you make sure that you update and you also unlock the table. Fine. So this is the process which we follow once the function modules are generated. But how exactly we will do this in the program, that I will tell you once you learned what is a function module and once you are comfortable with the syntaxes of updating a database table. Okay, so with this, how to create a lock objects in the data dictionary, we completed. So we completed all the objects in the data dictionary. Okay, so we will end up here today, and in the next session, a few more syntaxes also we will learn to handle these internal tables. Okay, see you. Bye.
Okay.